Hey everyone, how are you today? It is Bones Rodriguez here from NoMoreWaiters.com, and I'm an actordammit.com. And I am here with a good friend of mine, Jules Price, who is an opera singer, an actress, a solopreneur herself, and she does a ton of voiceovers now from her home down in sunny Sarasota, Florida. Say hello, Jules.
Hey guys.
So Jules, I called yesterday and I was like, Jules, I want to interview you about the voiceovers you've been doing, because about a year ago she called me to tell me that she had been very successful doing this. She is also one of the leaders in Send Out Cards, which you guys know I promote. I promote it from a website called betterthanheadshots.com, where I have a video talking about why I think Send Out Cards is so great for actors. But Jules here is actually one of the leaders in Send Out Cards. A lot of people look up to her. She helps a lot of people with a lot of their business. She helps people with their businesses in Send Out Cards. She wrote a book called Secrets of the Sock Drawer.
Secrets from the Sock Drawer.
Secrets from the Sock Drawer, excuse me. Well, tell us a little bit about your Send Out Cards, life.
Well, yeah, as Bones was saying, it's just an amazing, initially it was sort of an amazing add-on to my acting career, and then it just sort of took on a life of its own. But it's just an awesome way to make extra money on the side of whatever you do, because it's a great tool, kind of like Netflix. And when you tell people about the tool and they use it, you get paid residually, which we all know in this business, residuals is king. So I saw the opportunity of it, 8 years ago when someone showed it to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to pay me to tell people about this. And so I just started sharing it on the side of what I do, and it's turned into a full-time, although I still sing professionally, and like Bones said, I do, I'm an author, but I really, it's just been an awesome add-on, and it gives you more options when you get paid when you're sleeping.
Thank you. Thank you. It just gives you more options when you get paid while you're sleeping. That's my entire thrust here at No More Waiters. There are two kinds of actors: those who bring the check to the table and those who get the check in the mail. Which would you rather be? And Jules saw the opportunity for Send Out Cards, and so she pursued that. That is in No More Waiters. I talk a lot about Send Out Cards because I think I promote myself as an actor with Send Out Cards. See? This is kind of the one that I did an ABC thing, and these are like headshots and, stuff. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But today we're talking about the voiceover work you're doing, because recently a course came out that I have been telling people about, because the truth is that internet is changing everything. And we know it's changed television, right? Because what the ABC series I auditioned for was a web series that didn't even get to the web. ABC saw it before it was on the web, and now they made a pilot. So the internet is changing absolutely everything, and voiceovers is one of those things. I mentioned that a while ago I went to a voiceover in a big booth with a whole lot of people, and then a couple years later it was in a little production studio of this guy's studio, and then the last one I did was in my bathroom, and I got paid almost just about the same for all three of those. But Jules, tell me about your journey into voiceovers.
Yeah, so basically, I lived in New York for 15 years doing musical theater and operetta, and I sang with the New York City Ballet. And about 8 years ago, I moved to Florida, so Sarasota, Florida, like Boone said. And so obviously I still sing with the ballet, but I really wanted to still stay involved in the performing world. And I realized that one of the realms I never had done anything with when I was in New York was voiceovers. And it is probably one of the main things you can do still, even if you don't live in New York, because of the opportunity of being able to do it from your home. And it's very, very rare that it's a necessity to go into a studio to record something. And every once in a while, they'll submit something that says, LA actors only, or, if they need you in the studio. But most of the time, everything that's available to you, you can audition from anywhere, send it in, and book it. And then when you book the job, you record it from home still and send it in. So that, to me, since I don't live in New York anymore, was really appealing. And I love the creative side of it. It really is an art. And I, even though I felt extremely experienced in musical theater, and that was my whole background, you can't just assume that you know everything there is to know about a different niche. And so, you know, I went, took a 10-week course, pretty intensive actually. I have my little book, this huge folder, which I don't know if you can see that well, but it's just a huge amount of material that I went through with one-on-one coaching with a voice coach, went through this whole folder, and you really intensely kind of mark things up, and the things that you think you would naturally do aren't always what you're supposed to do. And it was a little frustrating, especially as a singer. You think you got this, and you really have to learn the techniques and learn different intonations that might be the opposite of what your instincts are telling you to do. But you know, but by taking that course, and then he also helped me make a demo. So and then I had a graphic designer design my logo. My particular tagline is "Speaking Your Mind" instead of "Speaking My Mind." So it's "Speaking Your Mind," and I'm a redhead, so I had them draw like a little redhead girl there. And then I have my picture on the back. So anyway, having a demo is very important. Not always having a hard copy of it, but because so much is emailed.
That's actually, I was gonna, if I may, I was gonna jump in there for a second. Now, you've been doing it for a while, so you have that hard copy. There are people who, you know, not even interested in a hard copy because it would take them so long. So you happen to have it, but really, in the past year or two, has anybody requested the hard copy?
No, it's pretty rare. I mean, by having one, you can send it out when you're doing an agent mailing. But even my agent, I pretty much got all just through sending them the link to my demo.
Yeah.
And you want to have a good website, obviously, online. But I just made my own. And there's so many reasonable ways to do that, and put my demos on there, put my clients and testimonials, and I was off and running.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So, you know, yesterday I talked to George Trahanis, and today I'm talking with you, and you know, a different journey, right? And the way Jules and I got to be closer, by the way, is that you know, she comes and sings for the New York City Ballet, as she said, at Lincoln Center, at Lincoln Center, about twice a year, and then she travels around the world singing with them, which is pretty amazing. Now, you know, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I sing twice a year for the New York City Ballet. I'm good the rest of the year," you know. But Jules just isn't like that. You know, she is someone who wants to be doing and wants to be working. And you know, of course, if Jules is going to go into voiceovers, she's going to go and get a big binder of work and get CDs done, because that's the type of work ethic she has. Other people do less or more depending on what they're interested in. But, you know, I've been promoting the new voiceover course because it's for people who are not actors already. It's for people who are like regular folks who just like have an inkling of what else they might be able to do from home. You know, I'm a big fan of creating these online vending machines where you have a website, and as long as you have people coming through it, that they'll buy things, and then you make money while you sleep, like she was talking about. Voiceovers can be one of those types of things where it's something that you are doing from home. And it's not actually trading time for money, but you know, to get paid, I guess you actually have to do the individual job.
Yeah.
But you know, like every other art form we have, the hard part is not the art form for us. The hard part is selling the art. That's where the difference is between the amateur and the professional. And as you saw, Jules obviously studies and worked on her voice to get a lot more gigs. Jules, tell us about some of the gigs you've done recently.
Well, it's been pretty fun because you just get a huge variety of work. You tend to learn. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback going on. I am hearing it. Oh, it's better. I think you tend to get to know what kinds of things you enjoy doing, and then typically those are the ones that you're better at anyway. I learned that in general, my voice is really well suited for kind of corporate, like e-learning modules. I really like doing instructional stuff because my voice is soothing but interesting enough not to put people to sleep when I'm, you know, giving. I did I did an entire manual for Union Gas in Canada, where every employee, when they get hired, has to go through a huge module, and it's like 16 hours long, and it's me telling them what they need to know. So that was, you know, believe it or not, I enjoyed that, even though other people would have thought that was horrible. So I like the kind of e-learning stuff. I like the corporate. I did a blue chip corporate video for a company in the UK, financial company. I've done a bunch of cartoons, not really kid cartoons, but more like animated science cartoons. I did one for Men's Health magazine.
Wait a second. You did an animated one for Men's Health magazine. Well, you know, I just want to pause right here and let the audience know that at this point is when I'm actually going to cut the video, because I'm going to cut it right here, because the rest of this interview is actually going to go over to the group that's a private mastermind group with me, people who are part of my private Facebook group. And if you want to see the rest of this interview, then I'm going to advise you to go to nomorewaiters.com/VIP, and you can join up on that group and be part of that Facebook group and get mentorship from me. It's a monthly subscription. So if you've enjoyed this, then go do that. If you want to learn more about VoiceOver, you can click the link below. If you want to learn more about send out cards, about Jules Price, those are all links below. And if you'd like to see the rest of this interview, then you can join us over at nomorewaiters.com/VIP. However, for the rest of you who are here in the VIP group, Jules, if you don't mind, you know, and if you don't want to, that's okay, but I want to talk about a range of income. You know, the difference between doing a short animated video that we'll talk about for a second, and doing a 16-hour manual. You know, we were talking about audiobooks yesterday with George. What kind of money are we talking about for those kind of jobs?
Well, I'm sure anyone here that's an actor knows that there's union work and non-union work. As far as theater goes, I'm in the union, I'm equity, and I'm AGMA. But as far as voiceover work goes, I'm actually non-union, and there's so much non-union work out there that I haven't found the need to get my card for that. But just so you know, if you do non-union work, it's going to be a little less well paid, and it's also going to be less residuals. So in other words, most of the jobs out there seem to be a flat fee, even if it's going to be aired on radio or TV. And you do make more money if it's radio and TV versus internet, but it's not like booking a national commercial where you're in the union and you're going to get residuals every time it's played. So obviously, if I have the opportunity, you know, if it comes up to get my card in voiceover work, I may do that. But also just be aware then you're going to be in a whole different realm of competition, just like you would in theater, and that might affect your, you know, ability to get booked. But I've been very successful so far in the non-union pool, because there's just been so much work that you can audition for it all the time. So to your question, typically it just depends on what you're doing, but typically I won't audition for anything that's less than $300, just because, again, if you're gonna, you know, even if it's a 3-minute long thing, it takes you more than 3 minutes to record it, more than 3 minutes to edit it. And chances are, if you send it to them and they want some changes and you have to patch it in, like it's just gonna take you a little while. So for me, it's not worth taking on anything less than $300. I've had jobs all the way up to $6,000. You know, I did a pretty lengthy audio book, a fiction audio book that's online that I enjoyed doing, but it also taught me that I don't love doing books because you have to spend a lot of time on it, and it's to the letter, depending on the editor. But this one wanted it, like if you said worked instead of work or whatever, they sent back every single tiny little edit, even if you think you're reading so carefully. It's very hard to get all that exact. So I found that kind of work to be a little bit more tedious than it really paid off, even though it paid well. My favorite kinds are when you do a 2-minute commercial and get paid $600 for it or something like that. And I really managed to book a lot of jobs that are, you know, for the amount of time I'm spending, I'm amazed at what I'm paid. And then some of them end up being kind of like, okay, if I broke down how many hours this took me, it wouldn't be as astounding, you know. But like I said, a lot of the TV like and radio kind of commercials. And also I found that PSA announcements are another thing that I tend to get booked for, and also telephone prompts like, thank you for calling, you know, whatever. Those all pay pretty well because they're going to be using them.
That's you. I hate you. No. Okay.
Please press 2. Yeah, I love that stuff. And they're going to be using it over and over and over again. So typically they'll pay more, even though, like I said, I haven't booked a residual one yet. Now, I also have an agent that sends me, everything that she sends me has been much higher paid. So it'll be in the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 instead of hundreds. I'm up right now. I just did a up for the Royal Caribbean commercial. I'm up for a Payless commercial and a Target commercial. I was down to the end, number 2, for a Target commercial that I didn't book. But again, it would have been a flat fee, very well paid, but they wouldn't have paid me residuals even if I was seeing my voice on TV.
Right. That's what's happening though, Jules. You know, you mentioned that, oh, it's not like getting a national commercial. Like, look, my entire career has been commercials. I've been doing commercials since 2000, you know, and I keep telling everyone that it is different now.
Okay.
And, you know, all of us, I just did one for the North Carolina lottery, you know, and I was there with the veterans, guys who I've known for 10 years. You know, we all started as the college kid, and now we went through young dad, and now we're at old dad. And, you know, it's not the same thing now.
Yeah.
So like, you know, even that idea of, oh, well, you know, you book a McDonald's like I did and it lasts a long time. It just does it now because the internet is changing everything. It even has changed what's on TV because they won't have things that run for as long. Even, you know, even the huge jobs, the insurance jobs, the car jobs, they have new ads every 30 days, man. You know? So it's whatever's happening out there. I'm just telling you that it's the same for voiceover. And Jules, you're talking about non-union versus union. There's a lot of non-union commercials being shot here now, you know? And a lot of guys are like, I'm going to go FICOR, man, and all this stuff. And I don't want to be gloom and doom. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that it's a different opportunity.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to know that.
There's so much work. Like a lot of these sites, you know, that you can enlist on for, let's say, a small yearly fee, and then you can audition for anything that you want. There's literally 100 auditions a day, if not more, that I could be doing. Now, typically, I personally try to do 10 a day because I'm busy and doing other things. And, you know, I figured that's a pretty good consistent rate to be able to, you know, if you do 10 a day, you're going to book jobs. And that's what I've been doing. And then you also tend to get repeat business, which is really fun because you work with a producer. You know, I just worked with this guy in California, a production company, and they liked my work for that one client. Well, guess what? They're a production company with lots of clients. So they're going to, you know, now they're going to write to me and say, oh, I thought of you for this project. So once you start booking, it starts coming a little bit faster instead of doing everything kind of from scratch. But there is so much work that you can audition for at all times. And as an actor, that was exciting to me because that's not the case necessarily. I mean, yeah, you could look through backstage and go to a million auditions, but to be able to really pick and choose what you like to do and what's worth it for the time, it always lists how much it costs, or they'll give you a range and you quote. So that's a little scary because it might say between 500 and 900. And then when you submit your audition, you have to tell them how much you charge. And you don't want to undercut, but you also don't want to be the most expensive one.
No, like, wrong.
Yeah.
You should be saying, I realize your quote is 4 to 9, but my quote is 15. That's what you do.
Don't listen
Jules, do that tomorrow. Just tomorrow. For the 10 that you audition for tomorrow, just do that and let me know how that goes. Okay?
Okay. I'll be doing that. Yeah. But,
you're not going to do that. All right.
But most of the ones that I book, you know, oh, this is a cool thing too. So let's see if I can pull it up. I love this part because as actors, let's face it, we like feedback. And in most theater, you don't get feedback at all. So on this one site, when you submit your auditions, see if, so for a lot of actors, we really like feedback. And one of the things I like about some of the sites, actually really one site in particular, is that when you submit an audition, you see a little ear appear if they've listened to it, and you see a thumbs up if they like it. So then you know if you're on the short list. And obviously that can get your hopes up. You know, like I'm on the short list right now for like 6 different things that I did yesterday. But it just helps you know if you're on the right track. If you never get a thumbs up, you know, you need to study a little
That's amazing. I
and
would kill for that. I would kill for that for like a regular audition. That's crazy.
So that never happens in commercials. So to be able to, and you also see if they've heard it. So if you just get an ear, that means they heard it, but you're not really being considered. And then if you get the thumbs up, it's like I've booked almost every job that I've booked has gotten a thumbs up first, and then I get the email. So it's exciting. It makes you check your phone a little more often.
Yeah. Well, that is very cool. Just like, you know, I'm checking my phone whenever I make a sale, baby. Whenever somebody buys something from one of my online vending machines, you know, oh, there it is. Hey, baby, we just made 27 bucks. Hey, baby, we just made 500 bucks. Hey, you know. So that is exciting. That sounds cool.
Social media is cool too because I post sometimes, like if I do something, I post it on my Facebook page because normal people just like to listen in and see what you're doing. But then I just booked a $600 job from one that I posted last week because somebody just hadn't really realized I do voiceovers. He, at that moment, needed someone to narrate a 14-minute video, and he wrote me and said, "What's your rate?" So I was like, for that, I would have probably charged $300, and I said, "Oh, I charged $600 for that," and he paid it for me without even blinking. So,
yes, see? 1,500. 1,500 is your new rate.
Hope he's not your group, huh?
What?
I hope he's not listening to this video in your group. I'll be like, hey.
Well, very cool, Jules. And, you know, so for those of you who know, you know, I've been promoting the course below, and Jules had a lot of misgivings about doing this video because she didn't know if she was going to be like attached to something she didn't know about. And, you know, if you go check out the video, you know, it's very like, you can make $1 million in your underwear, and you know, because they're trying to sell it. That's what it is. And you know, but I sent her she got the course and she went through it, and so she felt better about talking about it, you know, without having to say you're going to make $1 million by doing this. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was truthful about everything. Okay, so you know, I'm going to tell you the course below. When you get it, there's like a first module, and then there are other ones that are called like the accelerator and how to book more gigs and things like that. The first one is for regular people. It's for, you know, people at home who are looking for another way to make an income. And one of those things is, voiceovers. If you'll notice, even on the sales page, it doesn't actually say that it's voiceovers. It's like that you can use your voice. But to my crowd, people who are actually actors, you know, I'm very excited about telling you guys about this. It's a good blueprint, a good overview of, you know, how to have a business as a VO artist, how to book yourself, all the things that Jules was talking about. I'm sure if you spent the time with Jules, she'd probably give you even more and better advice than the course might, but Jules will cost you a lot more. So if you want to contact Jules about maybe some sort of coaching, or at least a product of hers about this, or a video, something like that, then I'll leave a link for that below. You can contact her there too. But it's going to cost more. So as it should. So you know, unless there's any last thing you'd like to talk about, Jules, you know, I think we're going to wrap up. Anything else you'd like to mention?
Well, no, just that, you know, like, I wish that I had done more voiceovers when I lived in New York. But I think that, like you said, times really are changing, and there's more opportunity for us now than there was probably when I was living in New York. And there's more opportunity for anyone to take it seriously. And, you know, like Sloan said, this isn't a get rich quick. It's just a really cool way to make money from home, and already using the tools that you've learned as an actor, and also not expecting, you know, you're not going to book everything, just like you're not going to book every audition you go to. And there is a lot of competition in the voice world, because I've even had, when I booked a job, they'll even tell me, oh, we got 700 submissions and we liked your voice. And I love hearing that, because you have no idea how many other ones they're listening to. And it's great to just get some idea that, wow, something I did with my voice stood out. And you also, with voiceovers, you really can't take it personally if your voice isn't the voice. Whereas in commercials, when it's you and your physicality, it's harder to let it roll off. But when it's just your voice, it's like they're going to hear what they hear and they're going to connect to it, and it's either you or someone else. And so that just takes the pressure off. And you just have to know that your equipment is good. You've done a little bit of work, hopefully, of learning what some of the technique is. And then you can put into it as much as you want. And like anything else in life, you're going to get back the amount that you put into it, I believe.
Nice. Thank you, Jules. And again, you know, I had no intention or idea that I was going to be successful in commercials. I just wanted to like act, right? And then suddenly, oh, this, you know, this avenue opened. So I went down that avenue. You know, I've made over $400,000 in commercials in the past 10 years, which is not that great, but it, you know, by itself, it sounds really good, you know, but like that was an avenue that opened up to me. Randy Thomas, he does the 6 P's of acting success. He also had no intention. He just was acting, and suddenly he got into hand modeling and makes full-time income in hand modeling. But it, you know, it opens him up to do other things, to be creative during the day. We talked about George yesterday, where you know, his doing stuff has now given him freedom to be open during the day. So don't poo-poo this, like all the other things that are available in entertainment. It's not all about winning an Oscar for like a dramatic role in a film, you know? Like, leave yourself open to allowing life to give you stuff. And this is another way. That's why I'm excited about it. That's why I want to tell my actor group about it. It's another venue that you can take control of. You know, everyone talks about create your own work on YouTube, but then, you know, you got to find all your friends and they all have to sometimes. But voiceovers is just you. All the stuff I do, I write books. Me. I used to work with Simon & Schuster. Fuck them. Me. The internet has changed publishing. I do better now. So it's also changed voiceovers. So that's why I'm excited about telling you guys. There's a course out there you can learn and get on the journey. It's not going to make you a professional overnight. It's a course that you can start the process on. Okay? So I want to thank you very much, Jules. Before you go, let's go to Jules, one of my favorite clips of Jules.
Don't play that one.
No?
No.
All right. Well, Jules did one for Men's Health that I might happen to, I might put around here somewhere. You might recognize her voice. How can you be ashamed of it? All right, she did one for Men's Health.
It's not a preference that it's a serious health magazine.
It is. It's a serious health video that she did where she says the word boner. But damn it, she got paid for it. I have a friend of mine in commercials. She lives down on Broadway who had to do a Preparation H commercial where she had to put it on a balloon and like wipe it and smell it in the ad. You know, we all have done crazy stuff in this business. And Jules, you're a wonderful, wonderful person. I'm so glad that I, you know, have gotten to know you. Thank you for trusting me to do this video today. And I look forward to the next time you're in New York to come sing, okay?
I'll be there in May.
Okay, then I'll see you in May.
Alrighty.
Thanks so much. And do me a favor, you guys. Thank Jules on somewhere around here, okay? Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.